I think this could be our best ever Albatros. This is an absolute cracker from the late 90s. I picked it up last week. Couple had it from new, used it for 16 holidays. And it's gorgeous, very nice features. Really good canvas with barely a mark on it. They told me it had a small patch on the back. One always takes a, well, they said it was professionally repaired. One always takes a bit of a chance. Some people's idea of professional repair is something cut out with scissors and stuck on with glue after a night at the pub in the dark. But this is a proper, I wouldn't have even had this repaired if it was my tent. But they've absolutely looked after this. Everything was packed beautifully right down here on the skirt, so not even in the living area. A little sewn repair there, all proper with a patch underneath. If I put the front camera on, in fact I'll just try and illustrate that. There's a little patch under there. Absolutely not an event, but otherwise just look at this canvas. It's a lovely sand colour, this tent. All around here, all the lines and rings are good, none of them have bent. Just virtually unmarked. If I looked closely on this side I could see traces from being under a tree just there. It's as bad as it gets. There's nice things with this tent. There are no curtains in it. Some people like curtains in a tent. Some people aren't so bothered. And it doesn't matter with this tent because it's got a Waard inner tent. Here we are. Never seen one with this blue base before. These are absolutely gorgeous. All lovely in there. It'll sleep four. Nice and snug with the carpeted base. They said it also makes it cooler in summer, which is quite interesting. I've never heard that before. But I suppose if you're somewhere hot and the sun's coming up early in the morning, probably would give you a bit of respite from the heat. Also just noticed everything again beautifully folded, a Waard hanging storage unit there, original same colour as the tent to hang in to put the shoes and the glasses and all that sort of thing. So we've got four lovely wings on here, two each side, and we've got this amazing extended awning, which is, well, you've got a metre canopy on the tent anyway, and then this is about 2.8 metres deep. No, about 2 metres deep there. But at the front it tapers out. So at the front it's about 3.2 metres wide. It sits on these three poles. It gives you huge outdoor space. So you've got about just over 3 metres depth altogether there, tapering out. Get a table for 8 under there, no trouble. And these four lovely wings. The other great thing about this awning, it's being extended awning, it zips down. It's got zips on the sides here, which zip down to the front of the tent, which completely seals it up. You can have more people in there, or you could have, let's get the tape, you could have luggage in there. You could keep a couple of motorbikes in here, or bicycles. I mean, we're talking about a depth of, when it's down to the front of the triangle there, we're talking about 2.8 metres there by about 5, so plus you've got the corners off, somewhere between 10 and 12 extra square metres of space. You're almost doubling the size of the tent. You're adding about 2/3 again to the size of the tent. Covered space, obviously a little opening either side there, but you could put a ground sheet in here and you could sleep, you could have 4 or 6 extra people sleeping here, so it turns this tent into a very, very versatile unit with this awning zipped down at night. Talk about ground sheets. The tent also came with a Waard tent carpet. These are kind of rubberized fabric, 4 metres square. They're nice and warm, they're quite soft. If they get wet they dry easily. They're basically a sort of rubber dipped cloth, coarse cloth, so they can get muddy. You can hose them down and they dry in no time. At 4 metres square you can have that in the tent. I mean, imagine a really cold place, having that laid out in the tent with the inner tent on top with that carpet. You'd be warm as toast. Or you could put it out the front here if you wanted outside the tent. Let's go inside. This is going to be a slightly long video, but it's just such an amazing tent. with the inner tent and this wonderful awning. You can see the insides of the wings here, everything lovely. Usual double door with the windows and the mesh above. Inside we've got the optional mosquito door. That can be zipped down in place with the right door because you've got 2 zips. Keep the insects out when it's hot, but let extra air in. Half moon vents in the back. Vents, as I say, above the door windows with covers. All brilliance in here. Ground sheet you could eat your dinner off either side. Shiny, either socks have been worn in here or it just hasn't been used a lot. Well, they said 16 holidays and that seems to marry up. A couple of bits of bird poo there that I couldn't see on the outside, but otherwise one little thing over there. Virtually nothing, and all up here so clean. Absolutely blimey, nearly 6 minutes. I'm sorry about that, but this really is a cracker of a tent. Tent for life for somebody. Sadly not me. Thank you for watching. I think I've covered everything. Just to say, this will be on our social media page, Nights on My Canvas, if anybody wants to chat about postage and picking up tents and anything like that, or has any questions, can always come through there or Messenger. Thank you.